completely learned something about a week ago, and while I was doing edits and revisions in my screenplay, Last Chance, it came to my attention that my other producers felt like I needed a rant, right? So this is something that I had not ever considered. I don't typically add in my work, but I was taught something. And when I learned something new, I definitely want to bring it to you guys as well, for my aspiring writers and filmmakers, because I did not know the power of a rant. So after having the conversation and the meetings and going over my script, and I said, you know what? I see their point, because a lot of about being a producer and being a writer that is a producer, you have to work with your team. You have to listen to their advice, especially if they are more experienced than you. I am working with people that have been in this industry 35 years. So there's nothing that I can say to them that they have not already seen or know what works and what doesn't work. I'm not working with Joe Schmo off the street. These are, experienced people that have had great work that you probably have seen on in the movies and on streaming platforms before. So why a rant? Pretty much, a rant can give you such a powerful stance in your movie. It conveys emotions that you would not ordinarily talk about, or the character's inner thoughts. And that can be, in and of itself, one of the biggest scenes in your movie. It can be the most memorable scenes, and that's what you want. You want scenes that people are going to walk away talking about. You want scenes that people are going to definitely hear about and want to go see your movie because of it. You want your rant to include raw emotion. It shows their unguarded thoughts, and it really puts just that innermost, that rawness, if you will, out in the open for your audience to see. So you want to include in a rant that raw, intentional emotion that hits people square in the chest, boom, right as soon as you start. A rant can help with character development. It brings out the layers in that character. So think, if your character is an onion, that rant is the part where you go to peel away those layers, and it gives you a chance to pack in a powerful punch and tell people exactly what that character is thinking, up close, personal, and in a very emotional way. Rants can pretty much give you a conflict highlight. You want to build that tension, and right in the middle of that tension, that is where you're going to put your rant, and it's going to work so incredibly well. I mean, I wrote these notes down before I started writing it. So when the producers gave me notes, I wrote them down, and now I am giving you the very notes that I wrote down, because it did elevate that scene. It did elevate my character. She is now even more so relatable to everyone. And I think you'll be able to see, if not yourself, someone that you know, you'll definitely be able to understand where she's coming from after this rant. Let's talk about memorability. Just like I said earlier, you want people to walk away from your movie talking about that rant scene, talking about, this is one of the scenes that is uppermost in their minds. And that's what you want. You want to give that rant, I mean, you go all out, be outlandish, say the things that people are going to remember, and give them that water cooler conversation the next day when they get to work. Rant can also be a catalyst for change. It is your character's turning point. So if you need something to transition to that big turning point, you can actually add in a rant and it will work. Rants are relatable, not to mention cathartic. You want the audience to see your character, and you want them to feel understood. You want the audience to feel that they understand your character. They know exactly where your character is coming from. This is something that they've thought, that they've experienced in past. This is something that is so relatable that you want your audience just riveted to their seats during this rant. A rant can also be an opportunity for subtext. This is something that you can use if your character has a huge fear and they don't quite know how to admit it, or they're afraid to admit it to either the people, their other characters, their other supporting characters, and even to the audience as well. And this is a way that you can actually give them their fears and allow them to express their emotions through the rant. And I had no idea the power of a rant. And I will say this, when I thought about it, I knew the producers were absolutely correct, because one of the most popular top rants, if you are a movie buff, if you've ever seen A Few Good Men, I think it came out in 1992, 93, maybe 92, or somewhere in there, early 90s, I'll say that, but with Tom Cruise and Jack Nicholson. And Jack Nicholson's rant in the courtroom, that old line that says, "You can't handle the truth," when Tom Cruise, says, "You want the truth?" and he says, "You can't handle the truth." When Jack Nicholson goes off on that tangent and he starts hammering everything about Santiago's death, and he just goes on and on. If you have not seen that movie, or at least that clip, if you look up A Few Good Men courtroom scene, you will see Jack Nicholson on a rant, and it is one of the most popular, most effective rants there are that have ever been in a movie. I stand on that 10 toes down. So having thought about that, having listened to my producers, I did include a rant, and I am very, very happy that I did so. So I cannot wait for when, in a year or so, when my movie comes out in theaters and you, as the YouTube community, you go and see it and you're able to say, "Hey, I remember Dee told us that she added a rant, and here it is." So I think that this scene is going to be so relatable. It is going to be so emotional, and I cannot wait for you to see it. So I am proud of myself. One, it's always good to elevate your characters in your work. I am proud that I was able to do that scene justice. I am also, I am happy that I am of a temperament to accept critique and not think I know everything, because I don't. I don't. So I am so glad I am working with people that give me great suggestions and help in the betterment of the project as a whole. So this is not, as they say, there's no I in team. And I am very, very grateful for my team that I have, because they have been putting in some work. We have been really, really working on this script and getting everything done. So I just wanted to let you know. So for my aspiring writers, filmmakers, definitely consider using a rant. Let me know. Do you plan to use a rant in your movies? Let me know how it goes. Do you plan to write a new movie and consider including a rant? And go ahead and look at that clip from A Few Good Men. There are movies that have included rants. I'm sure. I know there's one with, there's a subtle rant in Good Will Hunting with Robin Williams' character. And there are just so many. So definitely check it out. So if you decide to include a rant, please comment and let me know how it goes. All right. So enjoy your day. But whatever you do, please don't forget to let the day enjoy you on purpose. I will see you next time.